let's go ahead and dissect exactly what this jobs report, how did this explosion in the job report occurred, the jobs in the job report occurs. And note that even the August jobs report was boosted by another, I think, 40,000 workers or something like that. But I want you to listen to this, and then we'll take it on the other side.
The president touting a brand new jobs report, shattering all expectations today. The U.S. economy adding 336,000 jobs in September. That's almost double the 170,000 jobs that were anticipated.
My dad had an expression. He said, Joey, a job's about a lot more than a paycheck. It's about your dignity. It's about respect. It's about being able to look your kid in the eye and say, honey, it's going to be okay, and mean it. Well, 336,000 more Americans, if they have children, can say that to their children.
All right, I want to bring in NBC's Brian Chung to talk more about this. So you'd think you see 336,000 jobs added, right? Unemployment steady, 3.8%. Great news. But then you got the market looking at it going, not so much. And then, of course, what's the Fed chair going to do?
Yeah, well, that was a knee-jerk reaction. We saw the markets go down originally,
right,
but now they've rebounded back up because I think people are looking at this report and saying, we need to remind ourselves that this is a good story broadly, right? No one wants to see people losing their jobs. And what did we see in September? 336,000 jobs added in that month. That was a faster pace than the August number, which, by the way, was revised up in this report by about 40,000 to 227,000. Unemployment rate at 3.8%. That is still near over 50-year lows. So where do we see the job gains in this report, and where did economists get it wrong so badly? Well, we saw it specifically in leisure and hospitality. This is code for bars and restaurants, adding 96,000 jobs. People are going out to eat. They love going out to eat. That's the reason why we saw that number. Retail trade jobs at the mall adding 20,000. This is ahead of the peak retail season, ahead of Black Friday, obviously. But interestingly, look at this. We saw a contraction in the motion picture sound recording in this month's data, down 6,000. That's because they surveyed people before the Hollywood strikes were resolved. So that number is essentially going to flip into the positive likely in the next month. So these are all pictures that kind of tell you the American economy is roaring from the jobs market side of things. Federal Reserve didn't expect that at this point in time. But again, it seems like markets are saying, broadly speaking, good that our labor market hasn't tanked.
The thing is, we're a heck of a lot further away from a possible recession than we were at this time last year, right? Last year, we were looking at this and thinking at this time next year, we're going to be inside of a recession. Now you're looking at these numbers and saying we're very far from that. And there's got to be some positive impact on Wall Street with that prospect in mind.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, the labor market had been the positive side and remains the positive side of this economy because unemployment is low. But where are things bad? In the inflation side of things, right? Yeah. 9% yearly rate last year. It's been coming down. But this is where we get in kind of a lens into what inflation looks like from the jobs report. Average hourly earnings growth. How much more are people getting paid in September of this year compared to September of last year? It's a 4.2% bump over that period, which is a bit of a slower pace than the August to August period. And the Federal Reserve might be looking at this and saying that's what we expected, average hourly earnings to go down. But again, to outpace inflation, this is above the yearly rate of inflation. So that's good news.
We spend absolutely join our PDR posse anyway, folks. So yes, as it turns out, we know for a fact that it is the policies why, unlike any other time in our history, did we have a recovery out of a pandemic like this. This is what we asked Obama to do right after the destruction of our economy by the capitalist thugs that ran the financial sector. We told Obama that the stimulus package that he and Nancy Pelosi came up with were completely too small given the damage, the wreckage that was caused by these thugs in the financial sector. These thugs in the financial sector wrecked the economy. We had needed to inflate the economy. It took Obama over his entire administration and more to lift us out of that. And the reason why was simple. We knew that we needed to use Keynesian mechanics to lift the economy out from the damage these thugs did. We didn't. Had we done that in 2008, or rather 2009, there would not have been the slaughter of 2010. There would not have been the slaughter that occurred in 2010, where 60 something, the Congress flipped by I think it was 60 something congressional seats got flipped. And you know why they got flipped? Because Americans asked the question, what is going to be really different? They still loved Obama. They loved the guy, but they just couldn't see. Biden learned that lesson very well. There's one lesson Biden and Democrats and progressives in the aggregate have not learned. And that is the lesson of repetition, repetition, repetition to supersede lies, lies, and lies. Because when the lies go unanswered, they become the truth in the minds of many. And that is what the job should be going forward of all of us in the PDR posse, all of us in the progressive space. We have got to start telling people the truth, the truth, the truth. Examples, examples, examples.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel. And number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.